All right, everybody. Welcome back to the New Sentinel. Chakuka here. I'm glad you could join us. Now, if you've been following our last few episodes, you know we've dug into some pretty heavy stuff. Security lapses, surveillance, global crises. But today, it's personal. We're talking about something most of us keep in our pocket 24/7. Our phones and the ways they're quietly wrecking our minds and bodies.
Yes, it's true, and honestly, we don't give enough attention to this problem. Our society calls technology progress, but at what cost? More and more people are reporting anxiety, sleepless nights, even issues with focus and attention, all because they simply can't put down their devices.
I've seen it in the force too, Olga. Used to be, folks would unwind after their shift. Now, half the guys are glued to their screens, never really off duty, always checking, always scrolling. It's like there's no safe zone anymore, especially for your head.
Wait, let me jump in. Duke here. You know, on deployments, we get these briefings, right? They call it digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome. Yeah, it's real. Guys got headaches, eyes dry as the Sahara, necks locked up from looking down. Text neck, they call it. Almost funny, but trust me, ain't a joke when you can't turn your head on patrol.
That reminds me, I might as well share this. My nephew, he's 19, all into gaming. Real smart kid. But for months, the dude he barely slept. Kept complaining his neck hurt, said his back felt like he'd run a marathon. At first, his parents figured it was growing pains, but nah, it was all those late nights crammed in front of a screen. And you start to wonder if some of those apps, if they're designed to keep folks hooked. The line between habit and addiction, it's getting thinner each year.
That's the issue, right? Many of these platforms are engineered to be addictive, exploiting human psychology for profit. The companies win, but the users, the people, lose their health, their time, sometimes even their sense of self. And we hardly ever talk about that openly enough in policy debates.
Truth is, technology should serve us, not the other way around. There's a saying, the tool you own owns you if you ain't careful. And we're seeing the costs in attention spans, sleep cycles, even physical pain in the real world, not just some data sheet.
So, where do we even start fixing this? I've seen health experts saying digital detoxes really help, setting a specific time each day when you just switch off. At first, it sounds simplistic, but the studies back it up. Even blue light filters or changing your device settings can help with sleep and reduce headaches, if you remember to use them, right?
Yeah, and posture too. We learned this the hard way with office chairs back in the day, but now it's about the way you hunch over your phone. I always forget this myself, till my shoulders turn to stone. It's basic stuff, but nobody's teaching it, especially not to kids.
Reminds me, didn't South Korea do something wild with their schools and phone use?
You're talking about the gray screen policy, right? Yeah, so schools over there set certain hours, mostly late at night, when young folks' screens turn literally gray. It's a forced pause. It nudged behavior, got teens to bed at decent times, and actually improved their real-life social skills, if you believe the numbers.
But there's a big equity gap here. Most of these solutions assume you've got resources, time, parental support, money to buy ergonomic gear. Low-income families don't get that luxury. The digital divide is not just about who has internet, but also who gets to unplug in a healthy way, who can afford respite. It's another form of inequality that rarely gets headlines.
You're spot on, Olga. My nephew's folks could afford a fancy chair and some coaching. Lots of families I know, though, they get the cheapest thing they can, or the phone's the only way to keep kids busy after work. These fixes aren't one size fits all.
And there's the discipline part too. Some folks need the tech taken out of their hands, others just need a nudge. If you're playing catch-up all the time, though, it's tough to do anything but survive the day. Ain't no detox when you're stuck working 3 jobs online or juggling Zoom classes and homework in the same cramped space.
All right, so we all know it's not just about willpower. Let's talk about what institutions can do. Schools are starting to put timers on the Wi-Fi or block certain apps. Workplaces, too. Some are rolling out wellness programs, giving folks screen breaks during the day. It sounds small, but can really move the needle if folks actually stick to it. It's like discipline at scale, just like in training.
And we can't ignore the broader impact. Research is showing that screen time policies at work and in schools aren't just about health. They help with focus, social interaction, even empathy. It's a bigger shift in culture, really, treating digital well-being as a collective good, not just a personal fix.
You know, I saw it in the field too. Last deployment, we did a 1-week no-phone challenge. At first, I thought these guys would mutiny, but after 4-5 days, teamwork kicked in hard. Guys talked more, covered each other's six, and morale shot up. You can't beat that kind of trust building with any app, no matter how connected it says you are.
Interesting, Duke. That echoes some of what we heard in past episodes, the places where unplugging actually brings folks closer. Major, in the Army, didn't they have policies clamping down on phones in the field? I imagine there's research on cognitive fatigue from being always on, even in tactical ops.
Yep, there's been more controls on device usage, especially before missions. The Army found cognitive fatigue hits fast when folks get hammered by constant alerts, even off duty. That's why limits are part of policy now. Less noise, better focus, tighter teams. Kinda old school, but sometimes the old ways work best.
So maybe the way forward blends science, policy, and good old human connection. Unplugging isn't a punishment, it's a way back to ourselves and to each other.
I'm with you. Let's not wait for problems to hit crisis mode before we change. When teams, families, schools all row in the same direction, it sticks. Just gotta start somewhere.
All right then, that's a wrap for today. Technology's not going anywhere, but we've got to steer it, not let it steer us. Thanks to you all, Major Graves, Duke, Olga, and to everyone listening. We'll be back next time with a new deep dive. Y'all take care of your minds, bodies, and each other. Goodbye, folks.
See y'all next time. And hey, try putting that phone down, at least for dinner tonight. Later, team.
Thank you, everyone. Wishing you peace and maybe one restful moment offline before bed. Take care.
Be safe, be sharp, unplug and regroup. Out.